Welcome, yogis. I'm so excited you decided to join me today. Today is going to be a unique class. We are going to be focusing on a lot of balance and transitioning from balance to different poses. As always, please do what is best for your body, modify when you need to, take a break when you need to, challenge yourself when you need to. And I hope you enjoy today's practice. We're going to start at the front of our mat, standing. Open up the palms towards the front of the mat, gently rolling the shoulders back. And start to maybe sway front and back or side to side, just to feel how your weight is in your feet, and so that you can really connect with the earth or the floor underneath you. Start to draw everything up and away from the ground, strengthening through the legs, drawing the belly button in towards the spine to support your back, rolling the shoulders back, and reaching through the crown of the head. Nice, strong mountain pose to start today. Continue breathing. Maybe close your eyes. Notice how by just closing your eyes, you will start to challenge your balance, even in a pose like mountain pose. Continue to breathe. If you haven't already, maybe adding that Ujjayi style breathing, creating a little bit of heat before we even start to move. One more breath here. Nice long inhale, followed by an even exhale. And then you can leave your hands by your sides or bring your hands to your heart. And we'll start to flow. Inhale, reaching high towards the sky. Exhale, diving forward, rounding at the last moment. And then you can soften your knees if your hamstrings are a little tight. Work them straight as feels comfortable for you. Maybe walking them side to side. Making sure you're really releasing your head towards the ground. Letting the head hang heavy so that your neck is long. And then inhale, rise back up, reverse swan dive. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, dive forward. This time, bend the knees and come up into chair pose. Reach the hips back, the hands in front of you and towards the sky, as feels comfortable for your shoulders. And then release and extend all the way up to mountain, and exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale. Exhale, dive forward. And then again, inhale, find chair pose. Maybe reaching the hands a little bit higher, making sure the abs stay engaged in chair pose so that you don't overarch your back. You can always keep the hands parallel with the ground if reaching them up and over is too much. Release up, mountain, and exhale, back to heart center. Inhale. Exhale, dive forward. Again, inhale to chair pose. And this time we're going to find our balance on one side. Picking up the other foot and very slowly reaching through warrior three. Transitioning from chair to any other pose, really, can be challenging. So take your time. It's okay if you fall. We're going to come back up to mountain and back to your heart center. Inhale. Exhale, dive forward. Inhale to chair pose. So again, find your weight in the other foot. Maybe just pick the heel up, maybe just pick up the toe, and then when you're ready, you're going to extend both legs. The standing leg as close to straight as you can without hyperextending, and the floating leg kicks directly back. And then try to keep the body flat as you tilt up and come back to mountain. Back to prayer, and then inhale, mountain. Exhale, fold. Inhale to chair. Again, shift your weight to one side. Pick up your foot and kick back to warrior three first. Finding your balance in warrior three and then sinking into the standing leg and gently stepping back to warrior one. That transition from warrior three to warrior one can be very challenging on your balance. So be kind to yourself if you wobble or fall out of it. Go ahead and release down and step back to plank, and then slowly roll through chaturanga. Inhaling, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Now pick up one foot and pull that foot all the way through. And we're going to come to warrior one first. And then shift your weight forward and step into warrior three. And balance as you tilt up and come back to mountain. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Inhale to chair pose. Find your balance on the other side. And slowly kick back to warrior three first. Taking a breath or two to lengthen through the fingertips, lengthen through the heel, and then bend the standing knee and gently step back, landing in warrior one. Hip points are towards the front of your mat, hands towards the sky, long, strong arms. And then on your next breath, release the hands to the ground and step to plank. Exhale, flow through chaturanga. And then up dog, exhaling, down dog. Opposite leg floats up, and on an exhale, bring that foot all the way through, finding warrior one again. And then when you're ready, shift your weight forward and step into warrior three. Pausing for just a moment and then tilting the body on that axis, coming back up to mountain. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale. Exhale, dive forward. Inhaling, bending the knees, extending the upper body, chair pose. And right away, shift your weight to one side and kick back to warrior three. Just staying here for a moment, find your balance, and then gently step back, warrior one. We're going to release our hands behind and interlock the fingers, drawing the knuckles down the back thigh, opening the heart towards the sky, making sure that you're not compressing the lower back. You're still keeping a lot of length in the back, even though it is a back bend. And then when you're ready, shift your upper body forward so that the shoulder is right on the inside of the knee, making sure you're not resting your upper body on your thigh. You want to hover right next to the inside of the thigh, inside of the knee. Roll back up to upright and find warrior one. And then release the hands to the ground and flow through your vinyasa. Making sure that on your up dog, your knees are off the ground. Otherwise, you can always stay in cobra. And then from down dog, one foot comes up. Bring that foot all the way through. Warrior one. Just for a moment. And then we're going to shift our weight forward again and find warrior three to make our way back to standing. Long, strong warrior three. Don't rush through it. Tilt back up to standing and exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale. Exhale, dive forward. And inhale, come to chair, sinking the hips a little deeper, arms reach a little higher to the sky, balancing again, other side, warrior 3, and then gently stepping back to warrior 1, trying to use control and strengthen that front leg. Again, interlock the hands behind you, opposite thumb on top this time, and reach the heart towards the sky first. Gentle back bend, not compressing the lower back. And then when you're ready, shift your weight forward so that the shoulder is right next to the knee. If you need more space, you can always walk that front foot farther to the side of your mat. Try to keep the palms connected, shoot energy out through the knuckles, maybe a tiny bend in the elbows so you don't hyperextend. And then come back up to upright and find warrior 1. Release and step back to plank. And on an exhale, flow through chaturanga. Inhale, back bend of your choice. Exhale, down dog. Opposite foot floats up. And bring that foot all the way through. Warrior 1, just for a moment. And then again, shifting your weight forward, finding your balance in warrior 3, keeping your body flat, one straight line from fingertips to heel, tilt back up to standing. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale. Exhale, fold forward, barely brushing the fingertips on the ground before you come up to chair. And here we go, one more time. Find warrior 3 first. Strong standing leg as you bend and step behind to warrior 1. Again, interlock the fingers. Reach the knuckles down the back thigh, heart towards the sky. And then this time we're going to straighten the front leg, and on an exhale, fold out over that front leg, letting the knuckles go towards the sky or maybe even slightly over your head. Make sure that front leg does not hyperextend, so just the tiniest bit of a bend. Really focus on squeezing the quad to protect the knee. That'll help you prevent hyperextension. And then release and come back to warrior 1. On your next breath, hands come to the ground, step to plank, and exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra, and exhale, push back to down dog. Lift one foot, hips stay square, reach through the heel, and then exhale, bring the foot through, right in between your hands, and come up to warrior 1. Again, just one breath there, and immediately shift forward to warrior 3. Keep your balance as you tilt the body and come back to mountain. Exhale, hands to your heart center. Inhale, hands to the sky, and then swan dive forward. Inhale, chair. Find your balance, other side this time. Gently kicking the floating foot behind, coming to warrior 3, and then stepping back to warrior 1. Once you feel solid in warrior 1, release the hands behind. Again, interlock the fingers, opposite thumb on top, and draw the knuckles down the back thigh. Little deeper back bend this time. Straighten the front leg when you're ready, and on an exhale, shift your weight forward out over that leg. Really try to keep a lot of length in the back. So if that means that the nose does not touch the knee, that's perfectly fine. Focus on getting length, not necessarily folding. Soften the front knee and release the hands back to warrior 1. One breath here and release, stepping to plank and flowing through your vinyasa. Use the abs to transition to down dog. And then on an inhale, the opposite foot floats up, reach through the heel, lots of length, and then exhale, hollow out the belly and bring that foot through, warrior 1. Just one breath here, And then we're going to shift our weight forward, find warrior three. Keep the body perfectly flat as you tilt to mountain. Hands back to your heart center. Inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, chair pose. And again, find that balance. Warrior three first. Try to find stillness before you rush to warrior one. There's no rush. Take your time in warrior three. From warrior one, this time we are going to bring our hands in front of us into eagle arms, and start by reaching the hands high towards the sky, trying to open up that space underneath the shoulder blades. Eagle really attacks all of the joints in a wonderful way. We're of course just doing the upper body, but it's great for your shoulders, your wrists, your elbows. So now bring your focus forward and pull the elbows towards your belly button as you drop the crown of the head towards the ground, again floating next to that front leg, staying deep in the front leg as much as you can. Come back up to warrior one. Release the hands and step to plank. We'll flow through to down dog. Picking up a foot and reaching through the heel, straight line of energy from fingers through the heel, and then exhale, hollow out the belly and come back to warrior one. Just a moment here before you shift back to warrior three, and then tilt the body, coming to mountain. Exhale, squeeze the belly button to the spine, drawing the hands to your heart. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, chair. Again, squeezing the belly, making sure the back is not overarching. And then shift your weight to the other side. You really want to squeeze the core in any kind of balance pose. That will help you stay balanced. Gently step to warrior one. And again, find eagle arms, this time opposite arm on top. Reach the hands up first. You can have a tiny back bend here if you'd like, focusing on opening up the bottom part of the shoulder and noticing the difference between this and when you start to draw the elbows down, opening up instead the top of the shoulder, maybe a little bit of the neck. Float the shoulder right next to the knee of the front leg. Sink deep into that front leg. And then release. Come back to warrior one. One moment here. And then flow through your vinyasa. From down dog, opposite foot lifts, and exhale, hollow out the belly to bring it through, finding warrior one just for a moment, and then floating forward to warrior three. Keep the balance as you tilt that flat body back up to mountain. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, grow tall. Don't let the ribs poke out as you inhale up. Release, forward fold, and then inhale, back to chair. Find your balance and shift to warrior three. Gently step back with control, warrior one. And we're going to find those eagle arms one more time. First, reaching up towards the sky. And then this time when we exhale, we're going to come back to that pyramid version and fold over a straight leg. Again, making sure the leg is not hyperextending. You can walk the back foot in if you need to for a little bit more stability. Let the weight of the arms hang and open up your neck and the tops of your shoulders. Bend that front leg and unwind. Come back to warrior one. One breath here. Releasing down and stepping to plank to flow through your vinyasa. Just like in eagle, when you come to up dog, make sure you're drawing those shoulders away from your ears, lengthening the sides of the neck. From down dog, pick up one foot, long straight line, and exhale, bring it all the way through. Coming through warrior one just for a moment before we shift our weight forward again and find warrior three. Tilt and come back to mountain. Exhale, hands to your heart center. Inhale, other side. Fold forward, forward bend, and then inhale to chair. Find your balance. Opposite foot kicks up this time. Warrior three, just for a moment. And then with control, step back, warrior one. When you come to eagle arms, opposite hand on top. Reach the hands up first. Lengthen as much as you can without losing the bind. And then extend the front leg and fold forward. Make sure those hips are square to the front of your mat so that you can fold almost right over that front leg. Soften the knee of the front leg and roll yourself back up to upright, releasing the arms to warrior one, and then flowing through your vinyasa again. As you transition from up dog to down dog, really focus on using your abs to create that transition. And then the other leg floats to the sky, and exhale, sweep it through in between your hands. Warrior one for just a moment, and then shift forward to warrior three. Keep that long flat body as you tilt back up to upright. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale. Exhale, fold. And we will recover here for a few moments. You can wrap your elbows if you want. Just take some long breaths, catch your breath from that flow. Maybe sway side to side. Even here in forward fold, continue to pull the belly button in towards the spine, and that will give you a little bit more length and a little bit more support in that lower back. Release the hands and come back up to mountain. Because, we have not done enough balance, so we should do a little bit more. So find your balance on one side and bring the floating foot to rest across the ankle and sit the hips back. So you're basically in a one-legged chair. Hands can stay at your heart, or you can lift them up over the head. If the hands are extended, try to pull the shoulder blades down onto your back so that you're really engaging the back muscles as well in this pose. Just remember not to overarch. Gently release. Keep your balance on that side and bring the floating foot behind you now for dancer pose. You can always stay in modified dancer with the hands straight to the sky, knees right next to each other. Or you can push the foot into the hand, create a little space, and once you have that space, you can tilt forward and bring your body more to parallel with the ground. Release and fold once again. Forward fold. Just a short little recovery. Maybe some swaying if that feels good. Squeeze the belly to support the back as you bend, and then come back up to upright. We're going to find our balance on the other side. starting by crossing the other leg over the knee and sitting back into that one-legged variation of chair, maybe extending the arms over the head. Again, long line of energy from fingertips out through the tailbone. Make sure you're not overarching the back. And then gently release without touching that foot to the ground. Sweep the foot behind you, grab a hold, and come into dancer pose, whichever variation works for you. If you do want to tilt forward, make sure you focus on pushing the foot into the hand. Not only will that create space, but it will actually help you maintain your balance. And if you do lose your balance like I just did, start over, start in that modified position, and proceed if you want. All right, so let's come back to center. Take an inhale to the sky and exhale, fold. This time we're going to step back to plank and flow through our vinyasa. Nice slow vinyasa as we transition to a little bit more stretching. One foot comes up, and this time when you bring it all the way through, bring that knee towards the top corner of the mat and maybe bring the shin parallel with the front of the mat, coming into pigeon. Now, if this is too intense for you, just walk the heel a little bit closer towards the hip. If you feel comfortable, you can come down onto the forearms, take a breath or two there, and then maybe recline all the way forward. I like to always take a breath before I move into the more challenging positions so that my body has a moment to say, yes, I'm ready for that, or no, we're going to stay right here today. There's no rush to get into that most intense version of any pose. Slowly make your way back up to upright. And we're going to pick up that back foot, grabbing a hold with one hand. Maybe just picking it up is enough for you. You don't want to reach for it, that's fine. You can grab a hold with both hands if you want. Or you can come into my nemesis, king pigeon, by flipping the grip and actually reaching over your head to grab the foot. That is not generally part of my practice, though it's something I work towards on a regular basis. So shift back now, coming into split down dog, releasing the pigeon, and then we're going to flip our dog. So start by bending the knee, pointing the knee as high as you can towards the sky, letting the foot start to get heavy, and eventually dropping the foot over, lifting the hand, coming into wild thing, maybe coming into wheel if that's in your practice. Make your way back to split down dog and release the floating leg. Shift forward on an inhale and exhale through chaturanga. Inhale, up dog, and exhale, down dog. We're going to do that on the other side. So lift the other foot first on the inhale, and on an exhale, bring it through for pigeon. So the knee goes towards the corner of the mat, and you can adjust the shin to make it more intense or less intense, depending on how open your hips are. Take as many breaths as you need upright, and then fold forward if that feels good on this side. Each side is different, so take a breath on your elbows. No rush to fold all the way forward. Wherever you are in the pose, check in and notice how it feels. How does it feel compared to the first side? No judgment, just noticing the differences between the different sides of your body. And then we're going to make our way back to upright again, coming into any variation of king pigeon that you feel comfortable with, or mermaid too. I do like reaching for the foot with both hands and then playing with my weight. Maybe trying to pull the foot in, stretch out more of the quad, or actually pull the foot away and really open up the chest. Again, just play with it and notice how it feels on each side. Go ahead and shift back to split down dog. That front leg is now floating, and then start to flip your dog. So open the hip, bend the knee and really reach the kneecap towards the sky. And then as the foot starts to get heavier, you eventually come to the ground into wild thing. On your next breath, we're going to come back to split down dog and then release that foot. One more breath in down dog, and then again shift forward and flow through your vinyasa. From down dog, this time we're going to soften the knees to the ground, coming into table, finding a nice flat back in table, and then cross your ankles and gently sit back, coming into boat. In boat pose, you can keep the knees bent, or for more of a challenge, you can lengthen the legs and shoot energy out through the heels. Wherever you are in boat, make sure you're not collapsing the upper body. So keep rolling the shoulder blades onto your back, lengthen through the crown of the head, and release. Bring one foot on top of the other for half lotus, or if full lotus is in your practice, that's an option too. And you're going to fold forward. If this is too much, you can always stay in just a regular cross-legged position. As the arms reach forward, go ahead and walk them over to one side so that the stretch is transitioning into the side body. Maybe reach that front hand a little farther, crossing over the back hand. And then gently walk to center and then to the other side. Lengthening through your extended side, getting both the hip stretch, especially in that top leg, as well as stretching through the back and the sides. Come back to center. Maybe notice you can walk the hands a little farther forward, and then come back up to upright. Keeping the legs crossed, bring the hands behind the hips and try to lift the hips as high as you can to the sky. It's very, very challenging to open up the inner part of the hips in this manner. So just go as far as feels comfortable for you. Release the cross and we'll come back to boat pose. Maybe take an inhale, bring the shoulders high to the ears, and then exhale, roll the shoulders back. Lengthen through the crown of the head. Nice steady V shape without collapsing into the back. Cross the legs again, opposite leg in front or opposite leg on top. Big inhale to the sky for length and then fold forward on your exhale. I want you to imagine that somebody was behind you, just gently pushing your tailbone towards the ground. And I want you to imagine another person in front of you gently pulling your fingers farther forward, lengthening that lower back. Go ahead and walk the hands to one side again. Breathing and feeling the inhale create space between the ribs. And then walk the hands back to center and to the other side. Feeling the intensity of the stretch as you inhale, because you're expanding with the inhale. And then feel the relaxation as you exhale. Come back to center again. Maybe fingertips go a little farther forward. And then walk yourself back up to upright. And again, hands come behind the hips, fingertips pointing forward, and lift the hips as high as you can to the sky, opening up your hip flexors. Should feel really good after boat. Boat is a little intense on your hip flexors, even though the main focus is, of course, the core. Release the cross and come back to boat. And this time we're going to slowly roll down. So if you need some more space, maybe shift to the front of your mat. And with control, roll down one vertebrae at a time. Tuck the tailbone. The waistband of the pants touches the ground. Middle back, right below the shoulder blades. And then release to the ground. Knees come to the chest, give them a hug. Maybe rock side to side, whatever feels good for you. Release the feet to the ground and come up into bridge. So just like we rolled the spine to the ground from boat, I want you to roll the spine up off the ground into bridge. So you're really massaging the back by rolling one vertebrae at a time. On an exhale, squeeze the abs, roll back down. And then bring the knees this time to the outside of the ribs. Grab a hold of the outside of the feet and find happy baby. If you want some additional back bends, feel free to take another bridge or even wheel pose. Otherwise, you can rest in happy baby. Massage out the spine, maybe rock side to side, or just focus on lengthening the spine. If you are in happy baby, release the feet to the ground and let's try for one more back bend. This time in bridge, roll the shoulders under you and interlock the fingers, opening up more of the front of the body. Not just the hips, but opening up the chest as well. Release the hands, shoulders come back to flat, and on an exhale, curl the spine down. Again, happy baby. If you prefer the back bends, feel free to take one more. Otherwise, we are going to wind down here. From happy baby, release the knees together. Give them a nice hug to your chest. And then before we move to Shavasana, we're just going to take one final twist to either side. So the hands come to a T. Gently drop the knees to one side. On an exhale, come back to center and drop the knees to the other side. Again, exhaling back to center using that natural contraction of the breath. And rock to the other side. One more time. Center and twist to the other side. Exhale back to center. One final hug. And then we're going to release and relax in Shavasana. Feel free to stay here as long as you'd like. I would recommend relaxing for at least 3 to 5 minutes. I want to take this time to say thank you for joining me. Thank you for sharing your practice with me. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day as you rest, relax, and recover in Shavasana. Namaste.